What is going on, guys? Welcome to what might be the final episode of the Hawaii series here. We leave tomorrow, and I don't know if I'll be able to sneak in another video or not, but so this might be the last one. We'll have to see. But it is a gorgeous day out here, as you can see. A little bit windy for kayak fishing, but we're taking the kayak out, and I'm really excited. Look at all the boats that are anchored up out here. All the boats and buoys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go out and we're gonna fish around all the boats and buoys. We did this once before, only we really didn't get around the boats and stuff before we already started catching fish. We kind of caught them on a reef on the outside of these. So we're gonna troll all around here and see what we can get. You ready to go?
Sure, I'm ready to go.
All right. So the bait of choice, my friends, we have it on ice in this bag, is octopus. Big white chunks of octopus right there, the usual. But if you're new, we catch the octopus ourselves, just like that. And we're gonna toss it down there. It's only like 25 feet deep or so here.
It's not too bad. Just down.
Got one. Guys, I got a nice fish. Feels like a really heavy fish.
Oh yeah,
I got something crazy on.
you got a good one.
Guys, fish on. This feels like just super heavy. You see this?
I know, I do.
He's not pulling real hard. It's just like a really heavy fish.
Maybe it's a big ooper. Got your drag set okay?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
What do you have? Look, what is this?
that's a big old bosom.
Oh my goodness, look at that, a big goatfish. This is the biggest goatfish I've ever caught.
Yeah.
Oh my, look, he's the color of the kayak.
Wow.
That is cool. Look, that is the biggest goatfish I've ever caught before.
That's beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
Don't you let that thing go.
Put him in the red bag. He's the color of the bag, color of the kayak. That is so cool. That's what we were hoping for, going around to a different side of the island, is maybe get some like kind of different fish and stuff. And so far we've caught a couple different ones on this side.
Yeah, look at right down here.
Guys, we got fish following us. They're just hanging out right under the kayak. Look at this, look at this. I got them like following my bait right up. It was really amazing how many fish were in this area. And I didn't even realize the number of fish that were down there until I reviewed the underwater footage later. Remember that from the kayak, we're trying to look down in the water and it's all stirred up. The surface, there's a lot of the really bright sun is reflecting off the surface. So we can see that there are a few fish down there, especially the black ones. We had no idea this many fish were down there. You can see all the way in the left-hand corner there, the massive school of fish. We had found a honey hole. So from this point on, we do have to do a voiceover because like the day before, the wind really picked up late in the morning, which is unusual, but the wind was picking up like crazy. So had to put the cameras in underwater cases, otherwise the salt water can corrode a camera and microphone very, very easily, even if just a few droplets get on it. So from this point on, we're gonna do a voiceover, but that wind picked up and the fishing was on. First trevally of the day right here. Little yellow spotted one, and as I'm landing mine, my dad hooks up on a fish. Gorgeous little saltwater fish. Perfect pan fryer right there. My dad catches this really dark blue, really pretty triggerfish there. Over 40 different types of triggerfish. I think just in Hawaii. Maybe that's the world, but maybe that's Hawaii. I know we catch a lot of different kinds. You guys have seen that. So we add that with the goatfish there, and it was just fast action. My dad hooks up right here. Every time we started to paddle, I was getting a bite too. Every time we started to paddle and we got around this spot, it was just pandemonium every time. It was guaranteed. So many fish falling. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that unbelievable? All those fish were following the one my dad hooked. We've got trevally, you got triggerfish. There's some ones near the bottom I can't quite identify. Look at that. It's like one of those like big aquariums.
That's like something you see when you're snorkeling. Not from a boat.
That's a full-on black triggerfish right there. He's holding it upside down. You can, it's kind of hard to tell on those dudes. Beautiful fish. And again, my dad hooks up again, guys. It was like we didn't have to wait more than a few minutes between bites. And that's the reason right there. Look at all of those, like just the schooling trevally. They're all trying to steal the octopus away from the other one. Guys, next year we're putting on like double rigs or triple rigs, and we're gonna go to town. It's gonna be cool. I mean, not that you really need it, but you know, it'd just be cool to catch 2 or 3 at once. We were catching plenty of fish, but it'd just be cool to catch doubles or triples.
Nice job.
These are good ones, too. Jeez, this is fun.
This is fun. And I don't know if you saw all the other ones following him.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
If you're new to my channel, we found it a long time ago. Those trevally really like things moving. Look at that. Look at the strike. Look at that strike. This was exciting. And the other thing about ocean fishing too, you never know what you're going to bring up. We already caught the red goatfish, but there were some other fish that we catch here that were unusual. I mean, the ocean, you could pull up anything from a stingray to a shark to a trevally, and even like catching trevally. There are about like a dozen different kinds. Look at all the other ones falling. There are about a dozen different kinds of trevally you catch. You can catch black trevally, white trevally, diamond, bluefin, yellowfin. They're like there's so many different types of fish to catch. And that's another thing exciting that like ocean fishing never gets old. And don't get me wrong, I love freshwater fishing, but it is kind of predictable after a while. You know, if you're bottom fishing for catfish, you're either going to catch catfish, one of 3 different varieties, or maybe a rogue bass. And it's so different every single time. What we're trying to do right here is my dad's trying to pull up a fish, and I'm trying to fish really close to it so I can get some of the ones that are following up. But a lot of times we would never have that. In fact, it's like you had to pull the fish out of the water before you hooked up on one, because they were so focused on the one that was being pulled up with the bait in its mouth already that they would not pay attention to the other bait down there, which is very interesting. I hooked up on a really solid fish right here, and I could tell it was fighting different. So I was staring down in the water trying to see what it was. The fight was definitely different. And a big old triggerfish. This is called a lagoon triggerfish. That's 3 different varieties within like 15 minutes that we caught. That's what I'm saying. Just the variety. I mean, the colors on that fish are so cool. It's called a huma huma nuka nuka
A
apua.
honey hole, guys. I mean a honey hole.
Love ocean fishing. The water was so clear you could see your fish coming up from a long ways away. If you hung your bait halfway in the water column, sometimes you could see the whole school, you know, like approaching it. Hooked up again here. Non-stop action, folks. This is all within a real short period of time. You know, notice the sun hasn't moved. You know, sometimes on even when we're kayak fishing, we'll have to wait quite a while between bites. But at our little honey hole here, it was we knew if we drifted out of it, because we'd go about 5 minutes without catching any. This is a solid little fish, but it seemed a little bit borderline. All of them are strong. It seemed closer to 10 inches, so we decided to let this one go here. And check it out. As we're letting it go, remember, we didn't see all this stuff necessarily from the surface. The camera picked it all up later. As it turns, look at that. There's our school of fish just hanging out. I see a trumpet fish in there. I see triggerfish, trevally. I mean, just the amount of fish that were in this little tiny area. And they were hanging out right on this kind of it was basically an underwater point you can kind of see there. The ancient hooks up again right here, and it was fighting a little bit differently again, and he pulls up, almost whacks me with the big old coronet fish. Look at this guy. He's all striped. Looks like a piece of striped candy or something like that. Those are such a cool fish too. They can get all different types of types of colors. My dad kind of squirmed and got away real fast here. Shot off. I explain what we're doing. See, there's a buoy right there, and the buoy's sitting right on top of like this coral head, and on that side there's coral, and on this side it gets a little bit deeper and it's like more sand or light rock. And so we're just fishing right out in front of there, right out in front of our little buoy underwater point, and the fish are just piled. Oh, you could see better than we could. The fish are piled up underwater. It must have been the perfect combination. This is a big fish here. Must have been a perfect combination of like where the current and wind and everything met. And something different again here. Could tell based on the way it was fighting. My dad hooks up. We got doubles going on. And my fish swam way back, and it got tangled up in his line. So I had a big black grouper right there. And the line somehow did that magical, like, how did they tie around each other like this? So to skip quite a bit of untangling here, what my dad finally decided to do is just grab his line, since his was a smaller fish, and just pull it up by hand. Because the lines are just too tangled to try to do it while the fish were pulling. And he had a little trevally there. Interesting that a bunch of them didn't follow up this dude. But another nice little keeper there. Added him to the fish bag.
What a day.
Absolutely gorgeous. Our fish bag was getting full. We had some for us and some to share. We're going to do a cook later. And then what I had to do, the reason why I wasn't concerned about getting my grouper in is because it was a peacock grouper, which are the invasive ones that all the Hawaiians insist that you have to kill. So I took my knife and I killed it. It was a beautiful fish, but apparently eats hundreds of reef fish every year. And so everybody insists that you must kill them. And they get huge. They get like 100 pounds. Then they really start eating a lot of reef fish. So got rid of one of those and caught a whole bunch of fish. We were exhausted, paddling against the wind and stuff, pulling in so many fish. What a day. All right, my friends, the fish is prepared for cooking. Wow, what a time out there. That was some of the fastest action we've ever had on the kayak. Just so many fish so quickly. We weren't even out there for very long. It's interesting because when the conditions were toughest, that's also some of the worst wind we've ever been in. But I know that in fresh water, when the wind picks up sometimes, that can turn on the fishing. And so it wouldn't surprise me if that was the same for salt water. So maybe the reason why we caught so many fish is because the conditions were so tough and everything was getting all stirred up and stuff like that. So I think that's probably one of the reasons. But it's calmed down a little bit actually out there. But look at this spot. I mean, look at the view. Very, very blessed to be here. And we have a big grill here. So what we've done is I've already prepared the fish. We have we gave the other ones away actually to some of the folks that work at the hotel here, and so we gave the other 4 or 5 away. Kept one and prepared to just gut it, a quick gut, and scored the meat so the seasoning can get down in there. And then we kept the red goat fish. We're gonna cook it kind of like on a half shell type thing. So I left the skin and scales on, and we're just gonna season this side and set that directly on the grill. So keep the papillo inside the inside this aluminum foil and kind of cook it that traditional way. And we got Ace Video Seasoning, but then they gave us this with the condo. We have like garlic salt, cayenne pepper, curry, paprika, salt, black pepper, and garlic salt, all in one seasoning thing there. So we'll start up the grill first thing. So we're gonna let that get nice and hot, and we'll prepare the fish. With the goat fish, I'm gonna put some of my first cast seasoning right on there. Then I want to make one of these fillets quite spicy, so we're gonna take some cayenne pepper from this thing. We're gonna make it spicier, and in addition to the cayenne, we'll add some paprika as well. So make this fillet good and spicy. And then with this fillet, we're gonna make it more of like this garlicky lemon, just kind of a lighter flavor. We're not gonna do all the dark Cajun flavors. So I'm gonna add some garlic salt, and then we'll add some black pepper. And then we're gonna squeeze some lemon. Get that seed out of there. Squeeze some lemon right over top. Make this more of a salt, pepper, lemon, garlic kind of a thing. And then we're just gonna add these straight to the grill. Like so. And take our spicy one. This is cool. This is cool and fun. It's been a while since I've had a goatfish. No, actually I lied. I ate a goatfish like 2 weeks ago. Man, with this view. Now we'll prepare the papille. Let me close this. Alright, papille. I think what I'm going to do, we're going to put a lot of butter on this bad boy. And when I say butter, I mean we're going to have him, every bite is going to be a buttery bite. We're going fisherman's lifestyle here. That's what he always says. Like, he literally puts, like, uses a whole stick of butter with trout. And I'm like, that's fantastic. I love butter. I don't know why. I mean, I thought I put a lot of butter on. Can't hold a candle to him. But I thought I'm going to try it. Might be over butter. Might be overdone, but we'll see. Then we're going to add some of my seasoning. I'm literally just going to let that whole thing melt over it. Because the fish is going to be swimming in it. In fact, you know, I'm actually going to have to dethrone the butter. We're going to flip this over so I can season this side. I should have done that in reverse order. I was just so excited about the butter. There. Now wrap this up. We're just going to kind of set him, because he's going to be sitting in a soup of butter, so we'll just set him like right there. And just curl, I've curled all the edges of this up so that none of the butter spills out. And now we wait. And willing to receive the fish. I think this is done. Let's check it. Is it cooked all the way through? I believe. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna stick that thick part. It's like within a minute. We're gonna stick that part right on there. You'll leave that one just a second here. This one here on the thin, yep, it's definitely cooked on the thin part. Oh, you know, before I get my dad, I'm gonna try a piece here. Goatfish. I ran into a local guy and I was bringing my cooler up and I showed him the goatfish. He said, "Oh, I love those. Those are so tasty." Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, guys, my dad has joined me. He was just in time for trying the fish.
Timing is everything.
You could probably smell it from the room.
Yes.
That's the Ace Videos seasoning.
Oh. Let's see if we can do this. That's a real firm fish. That's good.
A real what fish?
Firm.
Oh, firm.
Fish.
I thought you said verm. I thought you were using German words on me. Oh,
No,
firm,
it's like,
yes.
Like not like light and flaky, you know. It's like meaty fish. Ooh, I like that meaty fish.
Yeah, so I ran into a guy in the elevator while I was bringing down. I showed him the fish. It was a local guy, and he said, "Oh, the red goatfish. I love those."
Really?
So, and these fillets I made totally different. I made them try to be like light and garlicky and buttery instead of the Cajun style. But that's goatfish as well. What do you think?
You know what? I like this. What did you do to this?
Butter, lemon, garlic, salt, and pepper. I just tried to make it totally, you know, no Cajun, no spiciness to it.
You know me. I'm not
you're not a spicy guy.
I think I like this better.
You like that one? All right. Well, guys,
this is good.
The garlicky, buttery, light goatfish wins the day. Let's see if our papille. Ooh, look at that. That is, I'd say that's done, wouldn't you? Oh man, look at how the butter is just boiling. Let's remove this somehow. I should have brought tongs.
It was swimming a couple hours ago. And it's swimming right now.
Exactly. You grab that side. We'll just lift it right to here.
Once you're ready, yep.
There we go. Woo. Gorgeous. You got beer and fish right on the island. So we got the old papille here. What I'm going to do on my side is I'm going to add, my dad likes some Cajun flavor, but not a whole lot. And me, I'm a big fan. What do you think?
Oh man, that is so good, Asa. That is so good. When do you
along the
hear-
back strap.
Yeah.
I should have brought another fork.
Oh, son, that is good.
Oh, sorry, I left you hanging. Guys, this is our second favorite fish to eat on the reef, besides the uku, besides gray snapper. Second favorite fish right here. I'm gonna try me some. And I'm gonna grab a lot of the good Cajun flavor. 'Cause I love my own seasoning. I wouldn't sell it if I didn't love my own seasoning. Oh, the butteriness. Butter upon butter. Dripping with butter. That is the way to have this fish. The butter is in every bite. I'm gonna have to do that more often. I was wondering why guys Matt from Fisherman's Life would do that. It was like half a stick or a whole stick of butter, depending on how many fish. It was almost like this buttery like soup kind of a thing, but it really gets into every bite. That's good stuff. Well, guys. Well, guys, our final day here in Hawaii, Pops.
Wow.
We had some adventures. We had a lot of really cool adventures, tons of fish, and it's cool to end the day with that many fish in that short amount of time. It was the most keeper fish.
That was a record.
That was
today,
our
yeah.
personal record that we had, especially for trevally and all
yeah.
that. Oh.
And fighters, I mean, I think smallmouth fight well.
Uh-huh.
They do.
Oh.
But these, pound for pound, it's crazy.
10 times
Oh, it's
harder of a
crazy.
fight. So many times I would think, oh, we got a big fish
Right,
on it, and pull it up, and it's 12, 14 incher. So yeah,
That's
that was
right,
crazy.
that's right.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this Hawaii series. We really enjoyed ourselves, and we'll have to be back here and have even more adventures. But last day here, but you never know where we're going to go next in the world. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.